It's been raining for the major part of the day. It's very cold, gloomy, and the lights are turned on as we welcome you to Marathon Stadium for this clash in round 15 of the home side, the Newcastle Knights and the Brisbane Broncos. Referee for the match is Greg McCallum, and Brisbane running left to right. The centre of the ground has already been cut about by earlier matches. The Knights, first touch of the ball, they're up against a Brisbane side, and they've never beaten this Brisbane club. This is the Newcastle lineup. O'Davis, Godden, Ainscough, Hagan, Rodwell back in the familiar number 7 jumper. Their forward line, impressive. Glanville, Muir, Boyd, Butterfield, McCormick and Harrigan. Work it down towards the 40-metre line. That's tackle 5. Peter Sterling is with me in commentary today.
Ray, less than ideal conditions for all the spectators and football, but I think that they're an enormous advantage for this Newcastle side coming into this. They need to slow the Broncos team down as much as possible in all aspects of play. Easier to do when the weather's wet. Big tackle there. Great shot, David Ball.
Huge tackle. Let's have a look at the Broncos lineup as they rucked the ball back on their first set of 6. Morganson in the centres. Renouf with an injury, not to be risked, said Coach Bennett. The forward line, Madison at the back, Can Gilmeister, Lazarus, Kerrod Walters, Mark Hone up the front. Bustle from Newcastle early.
Yes, a breakdown of communications there. The players outside Alan Langer had taken off early. Thought he was going to kick, but he held the pass back and ended up going forward.
Rodwell, Johns. Hagan has made it known that this is his last year with the Knights. He's off to close his career down working out of England. Been a great competitor for Newcastle. A foundation play. Glanville. Harrigan. Plenty of power in that run. Hold. Rodwell's bomb is high. Good kick, in fact. It touched the fingers of the Newcastle fullback coming through.
And again, we saw Greg McCallum look to the touch judge to see whether he'd seen a knock on. The signal was no, so Brisbane were allowed to play the ball. A very good kick there. Julian O'Neill didn't get in the right position. No touch from any of the Brisbane players until it was cleaned up.
22 metres out from his own line. Kevin Walters fires the pass. They so often do, the Broncos. They make the ball do the work on the first tackle. Touch judge in.
And talking of Mark Glanville, I think he will be the man called out for a high shot, a swinging arm. There's no hesitation in the touch judge from the far side coming in. Morganson going in, and there you see the big swing arm up high. Morganson looking at the referee for a reaction.
They're equal 4th at the moment. In a top 3 position, though it's been proven not impossible, it's very advantageous to be there come semi-final time. Kerrod Walters out and across the park. Langer goes straight. Pulled down by Butterfield. Johns. In fact, that was Johns on John. Matthew on Chris. Good pass by Madison. Gilmeister, a one-hander. Hone went up like Kazali. Big effort for him. Kerrod Walters gets away. Ball loose and comes down to Newcastle knock-on.
An illustration of the skills of this Brisbane side. Mark Hone, he's dropped one, but he comes up with a miraculous catch to keep this play going. Knowing it was the last tackle, Brisbane keeping the ball alive, but Rodwell couldn't clean up, and that's a great take there. Nice scrum feed. Perfect attacking opportunity here. You don't want to give Brisbane too many shots at you in your own 20.
Kevin Walters. 15 out from the line. O'Neill steps free from one, goes down in the next. Butterfield with a strong tackle. Alan Can struggles over the top of one, but pulled down by young Rodwell. Langer. Hone. The last. Langer takes a look around. Madison tries to cover the ball into the end goal, but Newcastle come away with it. Rodwell was very alert.
Did well, Matthew Rodwell. I thought it was a poor pass from Alan Langer to Terry Madison. Just took an extra little bit of time to get there, and that inhibited the kick to some extent. So he had to reach up high, and Rodwell took advantage of the rebound.
Godden, strong fend on Morganson, around Gilmeister. Going across the park, though. Butterfield, short passing, Hagan, beautifully directed pass. Ainsko down the flank, kicks off the left foot, might get a try, claims a try, I don't know.
No, I don't think it was a try. I don't think he got it down. He went all but putting the hand on top of it and exerting downward pressure. Beautiful work from his inside men, especially the last part from Hagan. Let's have a look now. O'Neill gives him a little bit of a push. Oh, the left hand perilously close to scoring. Cleaned up by Alan Langer for a line dropout.
Well, Ainsko thought that was half a chance of going out on the full, so he's taken the daily double and he's flunked on both occasions.
Well, you know about that, Ray.
Good luck to you, Jamie. It's worth a try. Newcastle and Brisbane played a 10-all draw in reserve grade. Johns works with Hagan. Brunker. O'Davis. Well, he missed the shoulder charge from Gilmeister. He's really glad that he did too, I'll tell you. Johns driven into the ground. Kevin Walters the tackle. McCormack. Now Harrigan. Well contained so far. Rodwell calls it to the right. O'Davis links in. Glanville. 5 metres from the line. Last. Through the hands. Rodwell. Beautifully taken by Brisbane's Kevin Walters. Mark Hone is brought down.
That was class there from Kevin Walters. He stuck the foot out and in one motion got the ball to a support player. Great presence of mind, and Mark Hone was able to take another 10 metres.
Lazarus. Walters. Johns. Inside for Julian O'Neill. Over the halfway, the 40. The support comes. Khan on the inside. But O'Neill has run out of room. Pulled down by Ainsko. 10 metres out from the line. Walters. Looks for Langer. Misses him. Taken on the bounce by Gilmeister. And Gilmeister scores for the Brisbane Broncos.
Well, they took the odds to it, Newcastle. Matthew Johns trying to get to a misdirected pass from the Brisbane side. He didn't clean it up, and Gilmeister took advantage. Now, this is the problem trying to play against Brisbane. When you get your forwards caught out wide, as Newcastle did on that occasion, they had Robbie McCormack and Paul Harrigan as their outside men. No centres there. And from the next play, well, this pass didn't find its mark in the first place. Matthew Johns, he half went for the ball, half tried to come up with the tackle. Trevor Gilmeister on the spot. And he set his sights on this one from a long way back.
Terry Madison, 34 goals for the year. 65% success ratio. And he raises the flags from almost right in front. 6-0 then in favour of Brisbane over Newcastle. Hancock. Good long run by Michael Hancock. Plenty of power in it. Hone. Little juggle of the football. Can. Gilmeister. Can able to unload. A strong man, very hard to pull down. Lazarus. Madison. Last year at Marathon Stadium, Brisbane defeated the Knights 12-8. But then the return match at Lang Park, Brisbane gave Newcastle a whacking 37-12. This is Harrigan. Swamped in defence. Now, fleet-footed work by Matthew Rodwell. Backing up on the inside is Muir, but he puts it down. Hancock with it.
Well, the first break made by the Newcastle side, and I think they were actually both at fault. I didn't think the pass from Rodwell was a good one. He had time. And Muir, well, it was a kind of pass that a first grader probably should catch. A little bit low and a little bit out in front. Muir did well to be there, but let off there for Brisbane, who now get a penalty 30 metres out, almost in centre field. Goes against Brisbane. Forward pass. Now Michael Hagan signalling that he will kick for goal here. Not an easy one, 30 metres out.
Jamie Ainsko is the kicker, not Adrian Brunker. Straight between the uprights. First points of the match for Newcastle. O'Davis. This is Muir. Though he dropped that ball earlier on off the break made by Matthew Rodwell for a second rower and for a big man, he did well to be there. Here he is again. I called him Harrigan earlier. He doesn't look all that unlike Harrigan from where we're broadcasting.
The thing that I have liked about the Newcastle performance so far is that they haven't pushed their pet play. They like to go to the back line and throw the second man passes, get the decoys going. It's become predictable. Today they've been much more selective with it, and it's been more of a shock tactic. And this is good ground again. David Boyd throwing the impossible pass, cleaned up by Kerrod Walters. He did plenty of good work, but they've used that play much more intelligently this afternoon.
Hone wrapped up by Harrigan. Hit him with everything. Gilmeister cut down. Johns. Madison.
Well, that's 4 in a row there for Paul Harrigan. Big man working like a Trojan in the centre of the field as Langer puts it high. No real chase coming through apart from Willie Kahn, and Ainsko makes a meal of it.
Well, his will play on. I'm not sure that Ainsko got a fair go. Johns to play it. Brisbane well on the attack. We might come back to that shortly. Brisbane, though, with an ideal opportunity here. Langer. Defends up quickly. Kerrod Walters. Can. Langer. Kevin Walters. Good pass. They must score. One would think, but Kahn links it back inside. Good scrambling by Newcastle.
Great scrambling, but you'll stop a train, Ray.
That's exactly right.
But you were right, they should have scored. I thought that the man passing here, the number 4, threw the ball much too early. That allowed Ainsko to reassess the situation, get out on his man when he really should have been having to go in and tackle the centre.
Glanville. Led off for Newcastle. This is Muir. Well-placed kick by Matthew Rodwell. You've heard me say it before, I can never understand how this kid has been in reserve grade almost permanently this year. He was the rising star winner last year. That doesn't mean that you're entitled to a first-grade position on a permanent basis either, but God, he must have gone off. And what we're seeing him do today is top-class stuff.
There was added pressure on him this year, wasn't there, as Lazarus makes good ground again with the fact that the expectations were much higher, and Jason Martin signing at the club would have put pressure on. He was to be on the interchange bench this afternoon, but was out injured. David Smith comes into that position. But Rodwell making every post a winner out there in this first half.
Langer's kick sends Robbie O'Davis across. Oh, he's tried to be a little bit fancy. Scrum will go down 10 metres from the Newcastle line.
One of those decisions you're not quite sure whether you should go in on or let it bounce. Unfortunately, it was a wrong one for O'Davis. Now with the scrum feed 10 metres out. Broncos getting a deep back line set.
Hancock. Penalty to Brisbane.
Well, he's called that. He had called the player to play it. Brisbane take the quick tap.
Kevin Walters. 8 metres from the line. Oh, Julian O'Neill came right onto it. Puts it down. That's a try. The fullback. He's really come strongly.
And he's caught everybody by surprise here. The tackler, I think you'll find, was David Boyd. He tried to come up with the tackle only half a metre to a metre out from his own line. So it was beautiful timing from the fullback. He put his body, and he ran back. He came back towards where the play was coming from. So he changed the angle of attack.
Terry Madison from right in front. No need for any excitement. Madison doesn't miss those. And a further 2 points to the Brisbane total.
Let's just have a look. Yeah, he's dropped that ball.
He did too, you know.
He has.
12-2 Brisbane. The kick has been able to find touch for Newcastle, 10 metres away from the Brisbane line. Doesn't really make that much difference, I don't suppose, these days. Hancock. Bumping from one and another. Make it 3. Madison. Oh, intercepted by Hagan, but put down. 6 more tackles. No, he's already made his ruling.
That's there from Michael Hagan too. A bad pass here from Terry Madison. It's just a cold intercept, and down it went.
Walters. Michael Hagan's going to have to get used to these conditions if he's planning to round off his career in England. Ken. Newcastle at this stage of the year, after 15 rounds, have conceded 75 more points than at the corresponding stage of last year. That's been the major difference in the Newcastle performance of 92 compared with 93. Let a whole heap of points in against them. Ainscough brushes away from Willie Kahn, but Johns is there to make the tackle. Rain starting to blanket in again over the top of Marathon. Thank God the lights are on. We'd lose half these blokes. Paul Harrigan. Rodwell, face ball, good hands, Michael Hagan. Jamie Ainscough puts the left footer over the top of Kahn, tries to keep it on the feet, but it goes over the sideline, 12 metres out.
And Michael Hagan has come up with a slips catch there as John Plath comes to the sideline with Madison, the man leaving the field, limping off.
Willie Kahn.
With John Plath coming on for Terry Madison, it's not going to be difficult to pick the replacement player.
Is that him, Peter? He's wrapped up. And that's the end of the first half of this match between Brisbane and Newcastle. Brisbane go to the break, leading 12-2. The rain pelting down as the players come back for the second half. Brisbane leading 12-2. The ground for the most part in a quagmire state. And Brisbane from left to right, from right to left. Newcastle restarting. Lazarus. Most players taking advantage of fresh jumpers. Not Michael Hancock, though.
There's one change out there at half-time. Lazarus again makes good ground. Andrew G in 27 on for the Brisbane side. He's taking the place of Mark Hone.
Plath is still there. He came on just in front of half-time, taking the place of Kerry Madison. Langer. The rolling ball. A little bit harder to grab today than under normal conditions. Towed through by the Broncos, cleaned up by Ainscough, but will he make it back? Yes, he does, but the corner post is gone. Now, that's part of the in-goal, so it'll be a line dropout.
Intelligent play there from Brisbane. Willie Kahn towing the ball through. Ainscough did well to get in the field of play, but the wet conditions, he was always going to be taken over the sideline.
So the referee only a week ago give a different ruling for the corner post being taken. He decided on a 10-metre scrum. O'Neill scored a controversial try in the first half. This is Andrew G. Him and Can. God, they've filled out. Hate to be feeding them. Langer. Kevin Walters. Harrigan's got him, but he's able to pass for Johns. Now Brisbane are only 8 metres away from the line. Langer. Grubber kick. Gilmeister's on top of it, but has it been forced? It has now. It has now by Alan Langer.
Yes, the kick leading to that one, and in these conditions, the kicking game is just so important and so dangerous. Newcastle here, a couple of opportunities to clean up. The ball hitting the post, that put Robbie Davis out of play. Paul Harrigan tried to clean it up, didn't get his hand. And Alan Langer had kicked the football, leads the charge. Let's have a look at it from this angle. Robbie O'Davis wrong-footed by the bounce. Paul Harrigan, well, he's tried to go down on it, but just belted it back towards the dead ball line. And Alan Langer had a little bit of company there from Brisbane teammates, but he got the try.
O'Neill. No problems for Julian O'Neill, and Brisbane with a convincing lead of 18-2 now. Morganson from under the uprights.
The timing of Willie Kahn much to do with that last try. Ainscough being caught in the dead ball area. Willie Kahn was a man who kicked the ball through. Now, a lot of players get penalised there for premature striking or not being played properly and kicking out in the wrong fashion. Willie Kahn timed it well, got the ball in the in-goal area, and Brisbane scored from the next set of 6.
Butterfield wrapping up Gilmeister. A little bit of assistance from Harrigan. Langer. Davis from his own in goal. Now Ainscough. What's been missing from the Newcastle performance today has been a darting run or two from McCormick from the dummy half position.
That was going to be a good battle. I think two of the best dummy half runners in the game out there, Kerry Walters and Robbie McCormack, and the running game from Kerry Walters has been superior to Cormac, who's got the ball now. He hasn't taken off many times from dummy half. He'll be biding his time, but Walters really has done a good job out of there and picked up many yards.
Muir. The pass going over the shoulder of Brad Godden. Morganson. Johns. Khan trawling it inside, but Johns wrapped up out there by Jamie Ainscoe. Khan. Plath. He's not going anywhere. Why they just allow the defence to force the attacker back after the tackle? His hold of the progress and the promotion of the football is beyond my comprehension. All it's doing is inviting another third or fourth tackler to come in and maim the ball carrier. Little reason with that. The bloke's not going anywhere, so surely the tackle's been effective. Glanville. Rodwell. Crow. Solid tackle around the midriff there by Lazarus. Johns inside the 10, Brisbane. I think that's the first penalty for inside the 10. All I can take it is that Greg McCallum is happy that they've both been back prior to that incident. Hard to believe, but in his mind it's true.
Well, I do think the game's been a fairly open one too, Ray. You know, it's very wet out there. I think he's kept a good distance between these two sides. They've both had opportunities to attack. We've seen both teams being able to get good charges up, and Stu Crow does exactly that. Beats the first line of defence, but cleaned up.
Rodwell. Boyd! Boyd looking for the line. Gets it back. O'Davis can't handle.
And again, that was an occasion where Newcastle did it very well. They looked as though they were going to pick up the second man, and the short pass went to the player that Brisbane thought was going to be the decoy player. One of the Brisbane players stayed down hurt. You'll see that Rodwell, Alan Langer read that it was going to go behind Boyd. Pass back, well, it didn't find O'Davis. There was defence there anyway. Promising signs there for Newcastle as Lazarus, who for mine has been the best player in the field, leaves the battle. And he's done a great job the first 50 or 60 minutes of this game.
Now, Newcastle inside the 10. The 10 metres has become the flavour of the moment. Tap 11 metres into Newcastle's area. Newcastle not getting back the 10. They haven't had the time, really. Kevin Walters and Alan Langer combine again with Julian O'Neill. O'Neill looks for support on the left. 20 metres out from the line. Langer and Walters. Langer again. This is Walters. Kerrod. John Plath. Kerrod Walters. Inside ball. It's with Andrew Gina. 10 metres from the line. Langer dummies and goes back off that left foot. Harrigan comes over the top with Crow. O'Neill sets himself for the drop goal, looks okay, and goes up. Callum says yes, and a further point to the Brisbane total. 19-2. It's clogged up. I see it was a stud tightener. Thought to yourself, he must have had a spare whistle in the pocket.
Not much joy if he's been blowing that stud tightener, right? I wonder he wanted to change.
Maybe that's the reason there's been many penalties. He's been blowing a stud tightener.
Let's get back to the football here.
Trials and tribulations of the modern day ref. Mark Hone. Ken. Good yards. Still going. Tremendous run. Still going. Did somebody find Attila Mahan and Genghis Khan? They might stop stop him.
40 metres, he's just gone through the meat of the Newcastle defence on a couple of occasions. And sets up something out wide as Morganson, no room to move in, and Adrian Brunker comes in on the last tackle. Langer slots into the first pivot.
Langer's kick. Kevin Walters is in front of the kicker. He makes the tackle. Touched in flight, says the referee.
That's the... Oh, well, there's a mistake made. It's cleaned up. That's why Robbie O'Davis didn't have the free catch there as they get a penalty. One that they certainly need. The ball went up. O'Davis had a free catch at it in this in-goal area, but had been touched in flight. Bad mistake there from Brad Godden. The referee ruled that it was a Newcastle penalty. Hard to fathom that one.
Well, the main thing is that the penalty came first, and Michael Hancock's appeal for a try, though it had been executed properly, it followed the penalty being awarded. This is Adam Muir. I'll tell you what, you people in Perth that have signed this boy, I reckon you've got a very good buy. He's young, exuberant. He's a good product to have over there. Listening to Paul Vorton interviewing Ken Arthurson today on the Footy Show. He said, where are we going to get the players to complement 20 teams? And I thought Arco got it right. There's plenty of young players around that are looking for a go, aching for a go.
David Smith takes the place of Michael Hagan. A couple of clubs, David Smith, for the years. He started at Penrith, some time at Eastern Suburbs. Not sure if he played at Penrith. I know that he lives up that way. He certainly played at East. He accomplished goal kicker and found something of a home here in Newcastle.
Gilmeister right on the halfway, right in the middle of the mud heap. Langer turning them around. Chris Johns down the ground, but was he back 10 metres? I don't think so. That player, Robbie O'Davis, who may have run 5 metres, but that's all. Solid tackle by John Platt, is it? Yes. Harrigan. Rodwell, they've got an overlap. Muir. Brunker. Rodwell. Johns. Plenty of promotion, but sideways. McCormack. Rodwell again. Johns. Glanville. Back and away. Godden. Rodwell. Crow. How many passes have they put together to move 20 metres? Johns looking for the sideline, but it's too big. That'll be a turnover.
I think it's obvious now that Newcastle realise they've got to take some chances. Throwing the ball around there, at least by throwing it around, is putting pressure on the defence of Brisbane. But it's very easy yards being made by Brisbane whenever they've got the football. Here's Hancock going again through some feeble defence. Keeps the ball alive.
Langer offloads. Kevin Walters supports. Willie Kahn hits for the corner. And easy for Willie Kahn.
Well, one winger sets it up and one winger scores it. Michael Hancock has been a handful for the Newcastle defence all afternoon. Coming in, getting involved off this left wing. Pushes one off there. Plenty of room up the middle. There's another one gone. Alan Langer on the spot as always. The dummy. 2 players taken out. David Smith comes in and that gives Willie Kahn a free run to the line. Johnson not enough pace to get across there. And this is just great work here from firstly this winger. He's a handful, and in these conditions even tougher to put to ground. 2 players taken out. And then the final pass go, Willie Kahn, a free run to the line. He's had a couple of those this year.
O'Neill from 20 yards, just off centre, and it's there. Brisbane with a stranglehold on the game, 25-2. Sunday afternoon, particularly looking at the scoreboard, a misery. There's no doubt in my mind Newcastle are going down today to a side that will be in the grand final. I don't know how they're going to beat them. Mark Hone. The attitude that we spoke of with Hancock, they each play the same way. Hone, Gilmeister, G. They're never tackled until the last breath.
But again, Ray, the big difference between that effort being put in by them and other players at other clubs is that they can all use the football as well. When they make those charges and they beat 2 and 3 and 4 defenders, they can turn and pass. Another great kick here from Alan Langer, the ball staying in. Davis is forced back. Good chase again from Brisbane. And I'll get the ball back again. The pat on the shoulders there for both Alan Cairn. Was it John Plath coming in also? Yes, it was.
25-2. Brisbane with a really big lead in these conditions. The Knights have got to go through the motions. I'm feeling there's more points coming. Gilmeister's been strong for Brisbane today. G with a short pass away for Cairn. Out comes the ball. I would have thought the advantage applied for Newcastle.
Well, I'll be very upset if they don't win this scrum. It's a mistake made by the Brisbane player. Out it comes, picked up by Ainscough.
Why? It's David Smith. God, that was solid on Godden. Glanville. Bennett would have to be happy with what Brisbane has shown him today. Muir. But it's Rodney Howe that's Perth down. Rudwell's kick down inside the 30. They wear the dry as a bone gear these days, all the Broncos personnel, except these guys. Walters. Friday night football coming up this week is Parramatta and Penrith at the Parramatta Stadium. 8:30 Sydney. Check your local guides. Mogginson. A little bit closer for us than Perth.
Not as close as Adelaide on the Sunday. Yeah, I think we have St George and Canberra.
You're spot on.
Down there. Second visit, I think, for Adelaide. Last time we went down there, Brisbane were involved. Too good for St George on that day. The Adelaide people, that's another cracking game going down there. Two of the better sides in the competition who are in good form.
Gilmeister. Good vision. Morganson. Well, he's put a kick in. It's come back to Gilmeister.
He came back to Boyd first, who was lying on the ground next to him. He handed it to him. And 6 again signal.
Gilmeister must have said, how the name of God have I finished up with the ball? Hancock bumps away from 2 or 3 every time he handles.
He's had a great game. He's come in, got involved. Everything he's done has had quality about it. So too is this man, Kerrod Walters, combining with Langer in the middle of the ruck again. Ball looking to be kept alive. even though they got this game wrapped up. Hungry for points, Brisbane. They have that killer instinct in them.
Platt has lost it. Advantage applies. Referee McCallum indicating no knock on from Newcastle. He indicated to the thigh that it came off the thigh muscle. Ainscough. The match today, of course, made possible by MMI Insurance. And they are great supporters of our rugby league. David Boyd. Close quarters for the Newcastle attack. Bronco. Johns. Will try to promote one of the forwards up the centre. Squeezes it out. Squeezed it out, that's for sure, because it's like a piece of soap out there at the moment. Morganson has his legs chopped from under him by Brad Godden. Kevin Walters, his brother Kerrod. That's 6 more. Langer runs to the defence line. 30 metres out from the line. Brisbane on the attack with a couple of minutes to go. Kerrod Walters right up the centre. No markers. Langer chimes in, steps off the right foot and puts it down. Kerrod Walters out from dummy half. Waits for the markers to either not exist or go to sleep. Langer came straight through the gap after him. And have a look at it. No markers. Takes it to the advantage line and the defence line. And Langer scoots in to score. Great combination. They know each other so well. Langer and the Walters brothers. Julian O'Neill. The siren has gone. He gets a further 2 points. And the Broncos have defeated Newcastle 31 points to 2. Out of the game, Kerrod Walters is the man of the match and $1,000 from MMI Insurance. The other